main idea behind a successful integrated layer project is the ability to supply a uniform quantity of eggs to the market at any given time. In order to do so, the classical solution is constructing one pullet house that will provide 3 cycles of mature pullets for 3 layer houses during a year period. This method ensures uniform level of egg supply during the year and optimal usage of the pullet house. An optimal integration layer project balances between production results, operating costs, and biosecurity standards. An outstanding layers integration project includes an entire production chain, from seed to final product. It is highly recommended to locate the project within a 3-kilometer diameter around the center of a layer farm. The pullet farm should be positioned 1.5 kilometers from the layer farm. The pullet house should be equipped with fully automated feeding, drinking, heating, manure removing, and climate control. The layer farm will include 3 layer houses for each pullet house and should be equipped with fully automated feeding, drinking, egg collection, manure removing, ventilation, and climate control. Once completed, eggs will be conveyed to the packing center, where they will be graded and packed, ready to be distributed. The feed mill and grain storage facility will produce all the necessary feed for the pullets and layers and will be ideally located near the grain fields. A compost site located near the crop fields will process the manure from layer and pullet houses to valuable compost to be used as fertilizer on the grain fields. The life cycle of a layer begins in a pullet house, where it is reared and grown for its first 18 weeks. Afterwards, it is moved to the layer house, and production could start at the age of 20 weeks. During the sanitary period, which lasts 3 weeks, the empty pullet house is cleaned and disinfected. Once completed, the next batch of layers can be housed. The production period lasts 60 weeks, with peak production at the age of 26 weeks and gradual decrease until the depletion date. Accumulated production graph of a layer farm consists of 3 layer houses, each housing 100,000 layers. The average weekly production will be about 1,500,000 commercial eggs. The basic setup of an integration project consists of 1 pullet house and 3 layers that can be doubled and tripled to desired production capacity. Agritop is a leading global player in livestock turnkey projects.